Greetings, Temple Beth Shalom. Rabbi Boxt here with Parashat Va-Et'chanan, the Torah portion for this week. We are still in the book of Deuteronomy. We are in Parashat Va-Et'chanan, Deuteronomy 3:23 through 7:11. And here is the outline of the Parsha. Begins with Moses' final plea to enter the land. Second, exhortation to keep God's commandments. Why we follow the laws. To keep God's commandments as communicated, to remember the revelation at Horeb or Sinai, and regarding God's unique nature. There's an interlude here. There's a description of the cities of refuge. There's a review of Horeb or Sinai, what laws to follow, introduction and setting of the scene, the Decalogue, the Ten Commandments, the people's fearful response and call for Moses' intercession, God's response to the people's request. Additional teachings, how to follow the laws, the call to love the one and only God, the call to absolute loyalty to Israel's God, the demand to teach future generations about the laws, and prohibitions regarding the inhabitants of the land. And finally, the conclusion is God's love as reason for the laws. So we find Moses pleading with God, saying, "O Lord, you who let your servant see the first works of your greatness and your mighty hand, you whose powerful deeds no God in heaven or on earth can equal. Let me, I pray, cross over and see the good land on the other side of the Jordan, that good hill country and Lebanon." But God was wrathful with me on your account and would not listen to me. Adonai said to me, "Enough, never speak to me of this matter again. Go up to the summit of Pisgah and gaze about to the west, the north, the south, and the east. Look at it well, for you shall not go across yonder Jordan. Give Joshua his instructions and imbue him with strength and courage, for he shall go across at the head of this people, and he shall allot to them the land that you may only see." So now Moses finally knows he's not going in. God is not going to allow him in. So he is reminding them of the laws that they are to follow. Perhaps Moses is trying to prolong that maybe Moses thinks God might change God's mind, but that's not what happens here. Moses is going to keep telling these laws. God's impassioned. God is, remember about what happened at Mount Sinai, the fire and the thunder and everything, and God gave us the commandments. And the teaching of the first 10 commandments, the Decalogue, the most important. I am Adonai who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. There are no other gods beside me. Do not make for yourself a sculptured image, any likeness on earth or below. You shall not bow down to them or serve them. You shall not swear falsely by the name of your God. You shall observe the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Remember that you are a slave in the land of Egypt. Honor your father and your mother. Do not murder. Do not covet your neighbor's wife. And Adonai spoke these words and so much more to the whole community, and gave them these rules, these laws. But let's turn back a second to a little bit of an interlude. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 41 begins, "Then Moses set aside 3 cities on the east side of the Jordan, to which a male killer could escape, one who unwittingly slew another without having been an enemy in the past. He could flee to one of these cities and leave. Beitzer in the wilderness in the tableland belonging to the Reubenites, Ramoth in Gilead belonging to the Gadites, and Golan in Bashan belonging to the Manassites." And then we get back to the teaching of the law. And this week's Torah portion ends with the following. "Know therefore that only your God Adonai is God, the steadfast God who keeps the divine covenant faithfully to the 1,000th generation of those who love God and keep the divine commandments, but who instantly requites with destruction those who reject God, never slow with those who reject, but requiting them instantly. Therefore, observe faithfully the instruction, the laws and the rules with which I charge you today. And that is Parashat Va-Et'chanan. I wish you an early Shabbat Shalom, and I'll see you next time.